right here.
Yeah,
Your Nevermore's got to attack back in the day.
So Pakula is playing Simic. I love Simic.
I love Simic too. It was actually my favorite deck to force some Gate Crash.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, it wasn't the best deck, but I loved it because I love Shamble Shark. I love Croconura, or as I call him, Coca-Cola. I love everything. I love everything about Simic. And he's go ahead.
Is his opponent playing Simic?
His
some islands in play?
Brian Ship is playing. We got some blue. We got some red. So we got at least a little bit of Is It here. Taking a look at the rest of the deck list here. I want to find a third color.
Ooh,
that's plain. So he's base.
He wants to find a second color.
Yeah, he does. He's base red blue with 2 planes in this deck, and there is Coca-Cola himself. Itself.
All right.
Croconura.
Croconura. One of the better evolve cards. A 3-mana 1/3 with reach is not so bad by itself.
Yeah, but that one gets big easy.
Yeah, it does. Turn 2/4, 3/5. There you see it on the screen. Just a very powerful card.
And it'll be blocking that Stealer's Secrets all day long, and it'll probably be doing so as a 2/4. As this thing is basically impossible not to evolve.
Yeah, because it starts off with just a 1 power.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's really key. So let's see here. All right, there it is.
So Towering Indrik is going to make it so that Chris has 2 2/4 reachers out there.
Kind of an interesting attack by Pakula.
Okay.
Because, his opponent missed the land drop. His opponent has the Stealer of Secrets. You don't want something like an Injunction to detain the guy, an Arrestor to detain the guy, and then have his opponent be able to draw a card.
Yeah.
Now, it worked out his opponent had nothing, but you understand what I'm saying here, right?
Yeah, I understand. I mean, you started opening yourself up to, maybe some sort of detain card, especially if it's an action injunction. You get to draw a card, draw a second card with the Stealer, kind of get yourself out of this mana screw, because we're going to see a slime molding here from Chris. This is going to be X equals 4. You're going to see a 4/4 ooze come into play, and now that's going to evolve the Croconura as well to make it a little bit bigger, make it into a 3/5. Slime molding, a card that plays very, very well with Evolve.
Yep.
As you see him move the die up and tick it up.
Now, normally everybody home maybe say, hey, why would he play slime molding pre-combat? Normally you want to attack first, then play your spell. The reason because with Evolve, you want to play your spells pre-combat. You want to pump your guys. I mean, sometimes, you want to wait until after combat, but for the most part, if you have Evolve, you want to pump your guys and you want to get in there. Ooh, okay, so there's a turn and burn. So a turn is going to be played, but this is not good because the Croconura is not going to die.
So here's the interaction. Yeah. So here's the interaction that we saw a little bit yesterday. And
wow, these are 2 for 0.
Yeah, and people are finding out about today.
The hard way.
Yeah, is that with the way that counters work with turn, is that yes, it turns the creature into an 0/1, and then the counters actually check. Like the counters don't go away.
No, they don't.
So now it becomes an 0/1, and then the 2 counters make it a 2/3. Stealer's Secrets get in front of it. That's a 2. That's a 2/2. That's going to go bye-bye. Yeah. And that's not the first time that we saw that. And that interaction hasn't come up in a very long time. I can't think of, honestly, Gerard, a standard format where that was like a big deal. Like a block constructed format. But it's something, if you've played a lot of limited Magic, and we've been playing for a very long time, where you have to relearn that interaction. Some players have never seen it before, so as you said, they're kind of learning the hard way this weekend.
Yeah, I could not have said it better. And everybody at home who's watching, I'm pretty sure they're not going to make the same mistake, in their next big tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
one of the benefits here is, the way that I learned personally is you're going to see that Dredge Beetle right there, and it's going to follow that up with the Keymaster Rogue. So he's going to bounce that a card you talked about a little bit. But one of the interactions that how I learned is like I have to make that mistake, and then like triggers my brain. I'm like, oh wow, that's not what I want to do at all, and then it never happens again. So you're learning on the fly with cards like Turn and Burn. Sure.
Now, do you think there's any argument right there for Pakula to return the slime molding token and just bury it to bury the creature enchantment on it?
Yeah, to bury the Agoraphobia.
Yeah.
Well, I think. So, I mean, the Agoraphobia is doing a nice job of just taking care of the slime molding. It's going to take care of the slime molding anyway. And if you play a bigger guy, then at least you have a 4/4 to follow up with. So, I think that might be a little bit aggressive.
Okay, yeah.
Picking up the creature and making lose the Agoraphobia.
Yeah, it's just the fact that Pakula would have another Grizzly Bear in play when his opponent's on 11 life. So instead of hitting for 5, he would hit for 7.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's just
coming across for 5 more here, as we do see a Runner's Bane taking care of the Keymaster Rogue. Enchant creature with power 3 or less, taps it and doesn't let it untap. How do you like that as removal spell in this format? Pretty good?
I don't think it's the best, because as long as the power is not 3 or less, it will untap.
Okay.
So I think people could have lots of things to prevent that from happening, or to allow it to untap.
Okay.
Prevent the ability from actually doing anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, think about watching today. Sure, Cedric and I will try to entertain you guys the best we could, but think of it as a really good learning experience.
Yeah. I mean, we'd love to educate you here in the booth about all the interactions and everything, and to try to be self-proclaimed masters of the format. But we're learning on the fly, just like you guys are.
Yep.
All these interactions that are taking place, some of these new cards from Dragon's Maze, and their effect on this format.
Yeah. So there you see just a 4-mana 3/2 flying.
Yeah, with hexproof.
Hexproof.
The Ascended Law Mage is here.
Yeah, the
a
Law
card
Mage.
that's getting written about a little bit in Standard. People saying, is this going to go in the banned hexproof deck? Is 4 mana too expensive for that deck?
I think 1 mana too expensive.
Yeah, I feel the same way as well. But in Limited, you don't often find something that this aggressively costs a 3 mana 3/2 flyer with hexproof, so you can't kill it. Then you can suit it up with maybe an ethereal armor and some other nonsense.
Holy Mantle.
Knightly Valor.
Sure. Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Anything. In Limited Holy Mantle.
Yeah.
In Standard Special Flight.
Yeah.
Give flying again. Why not?
Double flying. It can never be blocked.
I feel like they should have double flying, and then it's the next level where it flies over the flyers.
Take it higher.
Yeah. All right.
So you see the Law Mage is going to trade with the Beetle there.
Yeah.
Has no other good things to actually trade with, and the Krakenor being a 3/5, Power Ranger being a 2/4. Chip's going to scoop it up.
Yes.
So Piccola, Meddling Mage himself, is actually going to be up a game here.
Okay, awesome. All right, so there we see Land Ho all the way to the right and Dan OMS in the middle. Now, a lot of these players have been playing since the start of Magic, 1994, 1995.
Yeah.
They all have played on the Pro Tour multiple times, but now, all have real jobs, most of them have families. So they come back not for, just a regular Grand Prix. They don't come back for some PTQs. They're coming back for the Star City Games Open Team Limited because it's so awesome. You guys really, the next time, hopefully Star City has a Team Limited Open, you guys make it out for it because it's a lot of fun.
I know this is the only one that's on the schedule for this year.
Yeah, for this year.
Because, we wanted to give it a try, see how the reception was, see how people were able to handle it in the booth from both a commentator standpoint and a director standpoint. I think we're doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah.
And the reception here, I mean, again, this is the first time we have ever had more players on day 2 than day 1.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's insane to me.
And day 1, it wasn't like we had 200 players.
Yeah.
It was 10 rounds.
Yeah, it was 10 rounds of Standard yesterday.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we've ever had more players on day 2 than day 1. So I can
imagine
that maybe the powers that be over at Star City are thinking, I think we could do a couple more of these next year.
Yeah, sure. I'm hoping so too.
So now we cut into O'Mahony Schwartz here versus Jones. We're going to analyze this board today for you guys. On Jones' side, you're going to see, what do you call that archetype there? The white, green, and black?
Oh, it's Golzovnia.
Golzovnia.
Yes.
With a Sunspire Griffin and a Dutiful Thrall.
Yeah.
On O'Mahony Schwartz's side, you see the Black Denizen, you see a Rack of Shred Freak. There's also a Wrecking Ogre in play. It looks like a Carnage Gladiator as well.
Yeah.
And now a Madcap Skills.
Jeez, put that Madcap Skills maybe on that Wrecking Ogre, right? Imagine that.
Get a little dirty.
Yeah.
Now, Rakdos is a deck that you saw a lot of in the first tournament.
Oh, yes.
It was actually my favorite deck to draft.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just really liked how aggressively costed the creatures were. Splatter Plug being a 3/3 for 3 with first strike. Dead Reveler being a 3/4 for 3.
Sure.
Just super aggressive deck. I love the removal spells, love the tricks. A lot of decks didn't really want Augur Spree, where Rakdos really wanted it, stuff like that. You didn't really share a lot of cards with other people.
There was a big debate. What did you like better, Dead Reveler or the Splatter Thug? Thug, okay.
Thugging and bugging. First strike, too good.
Too good?
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, okay. Just because they could double block with 2/2/2s or something?
Yeah, and you can just kind of ruin them in combat there.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
I was really a big fan of that. It looks like O'Mahony Schwartz is taking this game down with a little bit of help from that Carnage Gladiator on the screen.
Yeah, and it looks like everyone's having a lot of fun. Just, that's how it is.
Yeah,
Limited, exciting.
Just battling Team Limited. I mean, both Chip and Jones are down a game here, but Ho versus Alias, I mean, we'll see what these players are able to accomplish. And it looks like Alias is attacking with a whole lot of creatures right now. I see a lot of guys turn sideways.
1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 guys.
I see one guy who lands Ho's side and looks like he's trying to figure out, where do I block here? Is my trade even close to profitable? I don't know if it is.
Yeah, so, and we have a backup match just in case we have time. Once again, it's William Jensen's team, but this time they're playing against Christian Calcano's team.
Yeah, and his squadron.
Yeah, so Christian Calcano won a Grand Prix, I think, earlier this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of star power here, and this is what I like, See a lot of good players playing, and not only are we trying to help teach you, the players are teaching you as well.
Yeah.
They're making mistakes, you learn from them. They're making good plays, you learn from them as well.
And you saw Ho scooped it up there. He packed it in. He pointed to his opponent when O'Mahony Schwartz was like, "Who won?" And Land said, "That guy, not me." Yeah. So we see the scores in the middle of the screen there: 1 for Piccola, 1 for O'Mahony Schwartz, and 1 for Alias. So we're going to cut back to the Pickula versus Script match and see who's going to be able to win this one.
All right, so Skip leads off with a Azorius Guildgate. Guildgates are going to be way more common now.
Yeah,
They're
you're going to see that a lot on turn 1 now, right?
Yep.
The fun question you have to ask yourself as a deck builder when you're drafting this format is, how many Guildgates is too many?
It depends. If you have Gatekeepers, probably there's no amount.
Okay.
You know, you probably want to play up to 10.
Oof.
So
it's a lot of lands. It's a lot of coming to play tap lands.
So, you know, I guess we'll see how the format progresses and stuff. All right,
we're going to see Simic Flux Mage.
One of my favorites.
You see Chris taking a look at that card. This card is a card that when you see this card initially, you know, your first thought is, wow, this card is just all upside, all value. You see it on the screen now. 1/2, evolve. You can move those counter rounds. It's not hard to evolve at all.
Yeah.
All value. In its format, though, it's a little bit slow. Yep. It doesn't evolve creatures when it comes into play because it's a 1/2. And you're going to see Runner's Bane take care of that.
Do you like Runner's Bane?
I think in this format it gets a little bit better. Runner's Bane,
I'm not a fan of it.
I can see I can definitely see it. You know, it's good against some stuff and pretty bad against the others.
Okay.
You know, one of the things I look at this card is, all right, if I'm going to target a creature with power 3 or less, what am I going to be shutting down? Because one thing this creature doesn't say on it is it doesn't stop activating abilities. So, you know, you put this on a Guild Mage, all right, it can't attack, but it sure can use those other 2 lines of text.
Yep.
So how good is this card really? I mean, he could use it to shut down that Tower Drake, but is that even that good use of a card? I mean, how much do you really care about a Tower Drake?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even stop something like a Lobber Crew, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll tap it, but then you can still untap your Lobber Crew when you play a multicolor spell.
Yep.
So it's, yeah. All right, so Skip plays a Tower Drake, and there's the Scab, the 2/4.
Yeah, the
Blood Rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2/4 Blood Rush for 1 and a green. Name is escaping Gerard and I right now. Scab Clan somebody.
Yeah, the Scab Clan.
There's the Charger. There it is. Yeah. The Charger, the Centaur Warrior. One of the better blood restricts in the format.
Yeah, you know, just for 2 mana, the whole thing is that it's the +4. That's what's important.
Yep.
You know, they want to kill your big guy. They're gonna go for a double block, sometimes even a triple block.
Yep.
+4, really. You know, playing around Giant Growth, but.
And you have this little game inside the game, right, where you know your opponent has you're probably aware that your opponent has a Blood Rush trick, but now you have to figure out which one is it.
Yeah. And
you can kind of deduce what your opponent has. If we see an Urban Evolution being cast here by Chris, he's going to draw through and be able to put another land into play, as Travis Wu's heart is wooing all over the place right now. He's probably pretty happy about that.
What do you think about Skip's play about playing his last creature? You know, he's
playing the Gatekeeper without any gates in play?
Oh, I mean, he has 1, right?
So I mean, I guess he could kind of wait until the other one. Sure.
Why not, right? What's that 2/4 doing?
I guess the question you have to ask yourself is what's his gate count?
Yeah,
how many does he have? As we take
what's
a look
the magic number?
As we take a look at his deck list here, there's none in his deck from Return to Ravnica.
Okay.
There's none in his deck from Gate Crash.
Uh-oh.
So that makes me believe that it's probably pretty low, and he just does have 2 Azorius Guildgates, so he's drawing to 1 more.
I mean, then why play that card?
Sure.
You know, out of Team Shield, you have such a wide range of cards. I don't think you need to play it.
That's true. I mean, you do have a lot of cards to work with. It makes you wonder how shallow or deep their pool was. Maybe they were forced to play it.
I'm not sure.
You see Turn and Burn being cast here, just the turn
side,
going to take care of the Scab Clan Charger on the attack. As Chris is left right now with just a Cloudfin Raptor, one of the premier commons in the Simic archetype.
Yeah.
Once you get that thing going, it's not as great on turn 4 or 5, but at the same time, this baby can get pumped up here, and it's going to start now via Simic Flux Mage.
Sure. And Cloudfin Raptor was a first pick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll have a nice Simic deck with Cloudfin Raptor, Experiment 1, Shamble Shark, Krakenora, or Coca-Cola, like you call it. It's pretty good.
So now you're going to see Sip take a look at this card. We'll bring up on the Beetle Form Mage on the screen for you guys. 1 blue-green 2/2. Gets +2/+2 and gains flying on a turn. Activate this ability only once per turn.
Sure.
So it kind of plays as a Rootwalla type card, but it can't go to the skies, and it also happens to have 3 creature types: Inhuman, Insect, not Insync the band, Wizard.
Yep, exactly. All right, so I don't know, this game is really tight.
And these players are going back and forth here because Chris is trying to stabilize.
Yep.
And he's trying to take advantage of his evolved creatures. As you see, he's got that Cloudfin Raptor right now as a 2/3. He's got that Beetle Form Mage at the ready to become a 4/4 at any point in time. And the Simic Flux Mage starting to work with overtime.
Do you like the Mage or do you like Frilled Oculus better?
So 2-drop versus 3-drop.
Exactly.
Frilled Oculus make him a 3/5.
They kind of both have the same ability. You know, you can pump it, use it once a turn.
Yeah.
It's close, right?
So I like the ability for Beetle Form Mage to be able to stop a flyer.
Okay, that's nice.
I like the ability to actually jump a flyer if I have to play defense. Now, if I'm Simic, I would prefer to be the aggressor than the defender.
Okay.
But having the option to switch gears where Field Oculus can't stop a flyer, I think that might be a little bit more in Beetle Form Mages, you know, why it is probably a little bit better.
Yeah, I guess it won't matter much because they're not going to be in the same pack. You're going to play both of them in your deck.
You're not going to decide between the two, so that's nice.
So, all right.
One point in, Field Oculus' favor is that it's better evolving guys.
Ooh, that's 1/3 instead of a 2/3. Yeah, definitely smart there. All right, so Skip untaps. He's still short on lands.
Having some trouble.
You know, he does have a lot of spells in his hand, so that's good.
Yeah.
We'll see what he can do here. Now that Tower Drake, you know, he wants to eat up the white man. He wants to be able to play defense.
Yep.
It starts off as 2-1, but late game it's a lot better. Ooh, that's pretty nice.
All right, so we have a dramatic rescue here. That's going to bounce the Cloudfin Raptor back to Chris's hand. Gonna gain Sip 2 life. One of the better tricks in the format here. Now, makes you wonder, is this the best use of it? As now we're going to see a Runner's Bane here as well.
Everyone's playing Runner's Bane.
You sound like you're not happy about it.
I'm not happy.
You don't like it.
I'm not, you know?
Removal's removal. It may not be the best removal, but it is removal, my friend.
Yeah.
Do you have to play all removal that you get in your pool? It feels like you probably do.
I feel like I'm going to do everything I could, for the most part, not to play Runner's Bane.
It's always fun to look at cards at the beginning of the format and decide, you know, how good do you think they are? What are their applications across the format? As now you're going to see that Cloudfin Raptor come on back down. Here comes the Drake Windcrassus. That's going to be a 3/1 flying trample.
Yeah. You know, the more I see people play Runner's Bane, the more I just want to main deck my naturals.
Now, I think that's something that's going to start happening a lot in the coming months. We're talking about Clue Stones. We're talking about
Key runes
to blow up. Plenty of creatures and enchantments.
Arrest, 1,000 lashes.
Knightly Valor.
Yeah. Oh wow, Knightly Valor in combat. Can you imagine? They're like, all right, put it on my best guy, attack. And they're like, oh, well, you know, even if he triple blocks, it won't happen. All of a sudden, you do the naturalize, and they get blown out.
And there's Stab Wound, Ethereal Armor. There are probably Unflinching Courage.
So many.
And a common. There are so many enchantments and artifacts worth killing. Yeah. I mean, there are so many enchantments and artifacts worth killing now that I could see, you know, naturalize starting to become a main deck card moving forward.
There's a Drake Windcrassus. That was one of my favorite cards, just because in Gate Crash, if, you know, nobody else at the table were Simic, you would get this guy so late.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a good indicator if someone is in that guild or not, how late you get one of those. At the same time, you know, it is certainly good at evolving, but it's not the best fighter. You know, it never really got to tangle with guys that do have reach or are flying as well. So you kind of got in your one shot and hope they didn't have a way to defend against it.
Yep. So now with the Simic Flux Mage, one more counter, it will now untap, correct?
Well, so this is going to lead. Is that how it works? It will now untap. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing, right? Why is that card good? You know, if somebody has Common Bond, Giant Growth, I believe that's how this works. So.
All right, if that's the case, and that's how it works, because it keeps. I know it says you can only enchant a creature with power 3 or less.
Yeah, enchant creature with power 3 or less. When it enters the battlefield, enchant creature doesn't untap. Yeah, it would fall off because the creature cannot be enchanted anymore.
So it keeps checking.
Yeah, I believe it keeps checking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll get confirmation on that from the judge, because naturally you have a judge nearby us to make sure.
Sure. Yeah. So we'll check with that, and we'll see the exact ruling on it.
All right. Yeah, we do have confirmation. It does fall off. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I know some of my rules.
I pride myself in my rules knowledge, but I don't like to get too cocky about it. Sometimes I can be wrong. That's what our judges are here for, too.
Yes, definitely. All right,
so now there's your second kill gate.
Yeah.
So had he been a little bit more patient there,
right? It would have been extra cards. That's what I'm talking about. And why only play 2 guild gates? I'm sure there's, you know, maybe a white-black guild gate, an Orzhov guild gate.
Sure, maybe a blue-green one.
Yeah. So I like how we both immediately went to Simic.
Yeah, I love Simic, because we're going to see an aerial predation.
Yeah.
Now that's going to take down the Tower Drake. Now, Gerard, let me ask you about this card, because this is a card that did see some main deck play in Return to Ravnica.
Yeah.
You know, people were kind of against it to start, moved towards playing it, as it does gain 2 life as well. How do you feel about this card maybe moving forward? Just as a main deck card, it probably has a lot of utility?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it, just in case you run into like a Gruul type of deck.
Okay.
You know, but the thing is that it is really strong against Simic. It is really strong against Azorius, and it is very strong against Orzhov.
Very good.
You know, you want to kill the Spy, you want to kill Kingpin's Pet. Yep. You know, even like something like an Assault Griffin. Even though I don't love Assault Griffin, sometimes I won't want to play it in my deck. It still kills it.
I'd rather have it dead than alive.
Exactly. So it's fine. Plus, gaining a 2 life is always nice. Kill one of your own guys, maybe, just to win a damage race.
So we see Chris untapping here. He does have an island in his hand, a couple other cards. Looks like he's going to give this guy flying to the skies. He goes with the Raptor, with the Beetle Mage, and with the Crassus. Gunner Snipe is revealed from Sip, meaning he doesn't have red mana, which he does have 6 of in his deck. So Chris Bukula is going to win this match 2-0. His team up 1.
Awesome.
1 to go.
I'm really loving these old school lands. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, so what ended up happening here is that Star City brought some lands with them.
Okay.
And then they realized, oh, we don't have enough.
Because there's so many people came out.
And so many people came out, so they had to go get some more to accommodate all the players that were here. So we had to do a little mix and match.
Yeah, all right.
Have a whiteboarder here, a whiteboarder there. But hey, whatever it takes to keep the players happy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's actually a cool feeling playing with old school lands. You're like, I remember this. This one was Tempest. This one was Mirage.
Yeah.
So we'll see which match we're going to go to next. Right now we see a judge call, and it looks like they cleared it up.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting the life totals.
Okay.
It's sent in for the O'Mahony Schwartz versus Jones match. We check into that match. We'll take a look at Jones's board first. You see Dutiful Throw. You see the Viper with that's the 1/2 Death Touch.
Yep.
With
with
Blood Rush. You see High Priest of Penance, a very, very good card in Orzhov, and you also see a Tide Drinker on his side versus the Grim Roostaboots.
Yep.
That does have an Unleashed counter and a Wrecking Order that has been cast and not saved for Blood Rush by Dan O'Mahony Schwartz.
There's a High Priest of Penance. I'm kind of curious why that hasn't saw any standard play. It's like a sideboard card against the aggro decks.
Yeah, I mean 2 mana, 1/1. Yeah, it
kills anything, right? Against Naya Blitz, you drop it. Like, are they going to attack? Are they not going to attack? It could 2-for-1 versus Naya Blitz sometimes.
Yeah, depending on the situation, how it goes.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable sideboard card, especially when the format rotates.
Yeah, things will change.
Yeah, things are going to get shaken up a lot when Innistrad block goes away. Innistrad, Absent Restored, Ascension, M13. All that stuff will rotate out.
Now here's a card that O'Mahony Schwartz is casting. He's going to play another card here in Splatter, one of my favorites.
Awesome.
But Ogre Jailbreaker. Now this was a card that some people didn't like. I was never a big fan of Ogre Jailbreaker because I don't like to draft Golgari, and it was never great in Rakdos because I just want my guys to always be able to attack. I don't want it to be conditional.
Okay.
Well, now there's a whole lot of gates.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of gates.
So how much better does this card get now?
I think it's a lot better, and I can definitely agree with you. In Rakdos, you really wanted a smooth curve. So lots of times in Rakdos, you don't even want to play your guild gates. You want to go 2-drop, 3-drop, and you don't have to worry about, oh, my land coming to play tapped, I can't play my Splatter Thug.
Yep.
So yeah, this card, definitely a more Golgari card in just Return to Ravnica, but now I think it goes to any deck. Any deck that can cast it with guild gates.
Yeah, I can't imagine people not having enough gates to make this thing work. I mean, if you can make the gatekeepers work, you can sure as heck make an Ogre Jailbreaker work.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So this game again, it looks like a very close game. It could go either way. Yeah, it could just be what's on top of my deck. Does Dan OMS have a Mizium Orders waiting there?
Oh boy.
If so, he'll probably win.
I want to take a sneak peek. I want to see if I have his deck list.
We do have his deck list.
All right, Mizium Orders. I'm looking for a check mark. Are you there?
Are you there? Is there anything you could draw that could really?
Well, there's a card with an M.
Really?
But it's a Minotaur Aggressor.
Oh, Minotaur Aggressor. I love that card. I love Minotaur Aggressor.
It's in his sideboard. It's not his main deck. So.
It's literally my favorite card that no one ever wants to play. 7 mana, 6/2, haste, first strike.
Yeah.
That card's awesome.
It's something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to use awesome to describe. He's tough.
Yeah.
He's rough and ready to rumble.
Yeah. People never expect it. They're just like, what? I lost to that card? Like, yeah, you did. All right, so I don't know if anybody really has good attacks here. You see Pakula talking to Dan OMS. You see Land just really involved in his match. That's normally what happens.
Yep. Land knows that he's down a game. He doesn't want to have to rely on Dan OMS to win the match. So, hey, let me tie this bad boy up, maybe take over game 3, make it so that Dan doesn't have to worry about things. And you see Chris and Dan really chatting about what's going on. Land going, hey, I can help out a little bit too. Or, hey, I might need a little help over here myself, guys. Come on now.
Hey, you guys are ordering food? Give me something.
Yeah.
What's
I said white rice in the burrito bowl. What are you doing over there?
Yeah, seriously. All right, so, yeah, they're discussing it. And I actually just, lip read for the first time ever in my life.
Okay.
And Lanho just said, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. He was acting like, nah, don't worry about it. First time ever. That was awesome.
Now look at the skills with the pen.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Spinning the pen. I always wanted to be able to do that. Can you do that? Can you spin the pin?
Not really. I could actually do like baton, but that's a total different story. All right. So again, Pakula is talking to Dan Almes. Now you are allowed to talk to your teammates, but you still have to play at a reasonable pace.
You do.
So you can't discuss something for 2-3 minutes. It's something like, hey, Cedric, should I play this? Should I hold it? What do you think? And that's pretty much the conversation. You
know, one of the things that you kind of have to figure out as a team, you know, when you ask your teammate a question, and I know this happens a lot in Magic, right? You go up to your friend after a match is over. It's like, dude, why didn't you do this?
Okay.
Why didn't you do that? Like, it's so obvious. And it's like, well, I mean, I didn't do that because of A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Whereas, you know, if you're going to cut into a game in team, like, let's say Chris cuts in and he's like, whoa, stop, what are you doing? It's like, well, you better be right about your assumption here of, like, why I'm making the play that I'm making, right?
Yeah.
And on the flip side, if Dan's going to ask Chris some advice, Chris is going to have to go, well, I'm just stepping into this game situation. Like, I don't know what cards you saw in the first game.
Okay.
So how am I supposed to help you in this situation? You know, that's a big thing that goes on with team chemistry.
Yeah, definitely. So it's definitely interesting and definitely tough to see what will happen here. You know, Dan makes pretty much an all-out attack.
Yeah, it looks like Chris and Dan came to a conclusion that said, get him in there.
Yeah, like we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Dan drew something pretty good.
I would like to, you know, it's my belief that this is probably not a bluff attack or a chump attack, as some people call it. But what this does, after, let's say you and I, we talk about something. Hey, Gerard, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Okay, Gerard goes, yeah, I like it, I don't like it. All right, now I attack with everybody.
Okay.
If you're Jones there in the middle, what are you to think? Oh man, these guys just talked about this play for 2 minutes and they decide to attack with everyone. Are they bluffing? Do they have something? You know, how am I supposed to block now where it might be a little bit easier in a one-on-one game?
Okay.
When you have someone, especially at Chris Piccola's level, advising Dan OMS, who's no slouch himself, and they go, yeah, this is definitely what we do. Get in there. Let's make him try to make the right blocks. I don't want to be in Jones' spot there at all.
Definitely. Yeah, and another thing you want to keep aware of is you don't want to give away any information. You know, for example, I say, hey, Cedric, should I board this card in? All right, and say this card is a naturalized that I'm showing you.
Okay.
And you say, oh yeah, you should board it in. He has 1,000 lashes and an arrest.
Yep.
Now my opponent's going to know that, hey, this is probably a naturalized. It's probably some type of disenchant effect.
Yep.
So maybe they'll be, you know, you just gave them free information. So all I would want you to say is just say yes or no.
Yep.
Should I board this in? And if you say yes, I do. And if not, I say no.
That comes on with that practice again, right?
Yes.
You know, some people, you know, may have believed that they could just walk into the tournament like this, 3 very skilled people, and just go, yeah, we'll be fine. We're also at Magic.
Okay.
We'll take care of this. There's a lot more that goes into Team Steel than that.
Yeah, for sure.
So now you're going to see some blocks here. You're going to see High Priest Dependence. He's going to take down the Wrecking Ogre due to the triggered ability. Okay. Beautiful Throw gets in the way of something here. It's going to regenerate. You see the Wasteland Viper jumping in front of the Ogre Gatekeeper. It has Death Touch. And now the Grim Roustabout.
Regeneration?
It's going to regenerate because it just did battle with Sunspire Griffin.
Okay. What do you think the card in Dan's hand could be?
Now that is the thing that I want to know right now, because he definitely went through a lot of lengths to clear up the board here, and he did not have a combat trick. And it's electricity.
Yeah, with the overload, right?
Yeah, so this is going to take out the
entire team.
This kills every single card. Sunspire Griffin has 2 damage on it from Grim Roustabout. That's dead.
That's awesome.
He can't regenerate the Dutiful Throw. That's dead. And the other guy, the Tidebreaker's a 2-1, so that's dead. Like trickery, insane in that turn.
It was kind of like a Mizium Order.
Yeah, and you see the team's going, wow, that was good like trickery. Yeah. My goodness.
All right, and Jones just passes the turn back.
So Richard Jones with no follow-up either. Oh boy.
Yeah, I just see 2 lands in his hand as well.
Omahoy Schwartz with an insane play last turn. Now he comes to Kloss with the Splatter Thug and the Grim Roustabout.
And you know, with 3 sets here, it's tough to ever think your opponent can have a certain card. You know, you
identifying a trick is so hard.
It really is.
Okay, so here's a Court Street Denizen.
Not very impressive. This kind of falls into the you don't want to play this card. You know, just a kind of a 2-2. Sure, it could tap a guy, but here you see late game, he has nothing in his hand. Yeah. It's just pretty much a gray ogre.
You know, its previous format, very good at making it so that Boros decks could push through its advantage. Alternatively, also could help be that 2nd or 3rd creature for Battalion. Now we see it at probably its absolute worst, whereas 3-mana 2-2 facing down a Splatter Thug, a card it didn't have to worry about in its format. The Grim Roustabout, a card that wasn't great in its format, but looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
As Court Street Denizen's going to come across here. There's a Dutiful Thrall. So
that's not bad.
That's not bad. It can you know, brick wall that Splatter Thug for a little while at least.
Yeah.
It looks like Omaha Schwartz has a Dreadbore in his hand.
It's a Dreadbore and something else. Another gold card he has. It looks like another Rakdos card.
He's moving that mana around. So what do we got here?
He's tapping some lands.
That's the Carnage Gladiator.
The Gladiator,
that's what that looks like. Okay.
Yeah. Let's try to pull that up on the screen if we could. Yeah,
so there's the Gladiator. So this is a 4/2 for 4. Whenever a creature blocks, that creature's controller loses 1 life. So feel free to block with a dutiful throw, my friend. You'd rather take a... Uh-oh, what's this?
Oh, wow. Ready and Willing? Is that what it is? That's what it looks like, no? The split card?
Yeah, this is the split card. I believe this is Ready and Willing.
Yeah, Ready and Willing.
Is that correct?
If we maybe zoom in on the graveyard just to make sure. I mean, he did tap 6 mana. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that is Ready and Willing.
Okay.
We'll bring that up on the screen here because he cast that very quickly.
So he's going to block. All right, so he's going to lose 2 life here?
Yeah, so this is going to be... Okay, so Ready and Willing is going to make it so he gets to untap his guys.
Yep.
They're indestructible. And
Death Touch and Lifelink.
Death Touch and Lifelink. So this is a huge combat trick.
So the Splatter Thug will die.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think they're pointing it out right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Splatter Thug's going to bite the dust. Grim Rouseabout regenerates itself, so it doesn't die to the Court Street Denizen. And
essentially, Jones is going to gain a life off this, right?
Yeah.
Because he loses 2 life from the blocks, and then he gains 3 from the lifelink.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as all the triggers were not missed.
Yep. We'll have a life total update for you guys, so long as Carnage Gladiator did what it's supposed to do. I think we're at the right life totals right now, but just in case, it does look like it's going to be 14-11. As Richard Jones is going to untap, he's going to draw a card.
Ooh, it's a Arrest.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. What do you do here with the Arrest? What do you think?
I think maybe that Carnage Gladiator's got to go.
Let's see.
He's kind of shrugging his shoulders right now. Yeah, Carnage Gladiator, you're under arrest. Is it time to race, Gerard?
I think it is.
14-11?
I think you could just attack with both guys here. Why not? Oh, well, he's only going to go in for 2.
Okay.
You know, trading 3 for 2 when it's 11-14 isn't the worst thing, but I guess trading 2 for 0 is also fine.
He's going to trade 2 for 1.
Oh, yeah, 2 for 1.
So he's going to trade 2 for 1.
Yeah, so you'd rather trade 3 for 2 than 2 for 1, I think.
I think I'd rather trade 3 for 2 than 2 for 1 as well.
Sure, yeah.
So here comes the skeleton. Dutiful throw. It is his duty to block, and so that's what it does.
Rakdos Guildgate.
Pass the turn back.
Passes the turn.
Still with Dreadbore in hand. Omaha Schwartz finding no reason to cast that right now. Now I want to see what Richard Jones has to draw too. What kind of awesome card does he have in his deck to get him ahead in this situation?
Yeah, just to try to close out this game. I still think Jones should be attacking with both guys. But he's on a plan. Maybe he has something really good that he wants to draw, and he wants the most time to draw it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean that could be possible. I'm looking through his deck list right now. I was thinking the first card that jumped to my mind is, does he have something like an Armada Worm? That's that's not looming.
Angel Serenity.
Yeah, that one's not in there. Angel Serenity, checking for that. That one doesn't look to be in there either. But I got a feeling for some reason he's got something bomby in here he can draw through. Scarred Goliath is in his deck.
Oh wow!
The big Blood Rush +9/+9
trample.
So he can draw to that guy.
So we'll see.
A Rubble Belt Maka. There's a 4-mana 3/3 Kingpin's Pet. White creature, going to tap down that Maka. Thank you very much. Come across 2 more.
All right. So if he can start getting Extort online, the race will definitely swing in his favor.
He also does have a Tristani Summoner.
Yeah. So another exciting game. So Chris Bakula won his match. So now only Lanho or Dan Almes, who you see on camera right now, has to win their match.
And Lan just tied up his match. You see the 1-1 there.
Yeah, 1-1. They're going to game 3.
So what's the big follow-up here? Dreadbore. That's going to take care of that.
He was holding that Dreadbore for a while.
Yeah, and
I like that a lot.
Kingpin's Pet is definitely worth taking down, as you're going to see the dutiful throw get in front of the Rebel Belt Maka. It's going to regenerate. Jones is going to take 2. He's going to go down to what looks to be 7 now. And now Omaha Schwartz is going to follow that up with another Grim Rouseabout. He's going to unleash it. No interest in blocking as he is the aggressor right now. He feels like he's ahead on the board and he wants to try to get this game over with. And of course, Court Street Denizen ever decides it's time to go on defense.
You see what
Not so good.
A Centaur Healer, I believe.
Ooh, okay.
That's going to be really good. It's a white creature. Tap something down. Not going to be relevant.
Yeah, not right now.
It's going to be a 3/3 body and allow him to gain 3 life.
Yeah.
If I saw it correctly, that's what it is.
The 3/3 that gains 3 right now is pretty gosh
Oh,
darn good.
it is really good. It's like a mini Freddy Plus.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Jones decides to do. How is he going to play this?
Yeah. How aggressive do you want to be right now? Because one thing that you have to be concerned about with Rakdos is Rakdos is a deck that does have reach.
Yeah.
Rakdos is also a deck that does have haste.
Yep.
So how aggressive can you be against this strategy? Because if you are wrong, you have one misstep, you die the next turn.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so only swinging in with the Court Street Denizen for 2.
There's your Centaur Healer. Jones is going to go up to 9.
Well, past the turn, it's really tough here, you know. I would love to see the throw get in for damage, but I guess he thinks he has to leave it back on defense. I think for Dan, I mean, Dan has to be careful of just not dying, right?
He has to be very careful.
Yeah, I don't think he can attack with the rubber belt. He'll have to leave that 3/3 back, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation, right, where he might want to leave the roulette Maka back, but at the same time, you know, if he attacks with it, the assumption here is that Jones is going to have to block, maybe with a dutiful throw on it, and he gets a little bit of chip damage in that way with the Carnage Gladiator, but he does decide to put the brakes on a little bit here.
Okay.
Going to come in with the two Grim Roustabouts, which can't block anyway. And Dan says, all right, I'm going to regenerate 1. Get you for a couple chip points of damage here with the Carnage Gladiator. Puts you down to 7.
Now Dan should regenerate both, correct?
No need to regenerate both because duty
Oh, yes,
throw
correct.
is
Yeah,
just a
sorry,
1/1.
yeah.
And now here's a green black land. So maybe that gate is just for the Ogre Gatekeeper.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe he does have a little bit of green mana in his deck.
Yeah. All right, and Jones
Now what do we
draws.
see? So he's going to tap that down. That's a white creature. I'm not sure which one is. You can barely see it on the screen there.
I believe it's the 1/4 for 3 mana from the new set. Whenever it attacks, you can pay 1 and tap a creature.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So that's definitely the one it should be. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, the Snare Squad. There he is.
Yeah. So I just do 3 mana, 1/4. Like I said, whenever he attacks, you maybe pay 1 white mana. If you do tap target creature your opponent controls, you can only tap 1 guy. So if you have 5 white mana, you can't tap 5 guys.
Yeah.
You can only tap 1. But definitely a solid card. I know a lot of the players I was speaking with, they think it's a great card. You know, it's a good defender, and it could also turn on the offense.
So Richard Jones attacks with everything. Says, "All right, I'm going for it. You're at 6. Attack you for 6." And Owen Schwartz says, "That's it. You win the game." So we're going to go to a 3rd game here, and that game, Gerard, remember, was the 3-for-1 with Electrickery.
Oh,
that's
wow.
the same game.
Yeah, you're right. That was just maybe like 3 or 4 turns before.
Yeah. And Richard Jones wins that match. And it's going to be moving on to a game 3 here against Dan O'Mahony Schwartz. As you see Pukula helping out his teammate, Sip helping out Jones, saying, how do you guys want to sideboard? What do we want to do here? We got 3-for-1 by Electricity. We got to make sure that doesn't happen again. Yep. But we won anyway, so not a big deal.
Yeah.
As it looks like we're going to cut over to the Land Ho versus Alias match. You see Stealer of Secrets over there on Land's side. We see a Carnage Gladiator and a Sewer Shambler over there on Alias' side. Sewer Shambler, think it gets a little bit better?
Maybe.
Worse, maybe still the same?
It's about the same. I think, if anything, it might have got a little bit worse. But
maybe more guild gates, less swamps?
Yeah, more guild gates, less swamps. I think in Return to Ravnica, a lot of players wanted to, you know, play black.
Yeah.
But now not so much. So we'll see what Ho has up his sleeve.
Take a look at some of the cards in Land's graveyard. You see a Celestial Charm, a Dramatic Rescue, a Far and Away. He's got that Transfield Promenade that's allowing a lot of these things to take place, so you got to believe that Land's deck is a lot of different colors.
Yeah, I mean, looks like Ho is on 4 life. If these life totals are correct, Ho is in danger.
I mean, take a look at Alice's graveyard. You see a Rakdos Shredfree, a Pit Fight, that new creature, the Pyreheart Shaman, I believe its name is.
Yep.
The Blood Rush, basically. You know, a way that we described it yesterday when we went over it was like a Hammer of Bogart, and it keeps coming back for more.
Yeah. 3 mana, 3/1 Blood Rush. Just definitely a strong creature. Oh, there's a Void Wilder. That's pretty nice. Void Wilder, you know, 5 mana, 1/4 from Return to Ravnica. When it comes into play, you could bounce a creature, and then it also has the 1/4 body.
Yep.
So it's sort of a mini 2-for-1. It's 5 mana. You think it's a lot of it's really expensive, but it's still such a strong card.
The one thing I'm always going to look out for now when I see cards like that are old and how they play with the new cards is take a look at this. It's a 1/4.
Ooh, wow, you're right.
Evolve.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's blue.
Yeah.
Part of Simic's color combination. for toughness, going to evolve a lot of the time. Some of the time, Gerard, you had to play kind of a poorer card, like an adaptive snapjaw to be able to evolve as a 6-2. This one, for toughness, bump them up.
Yep. All right, so Ho is down to 3.
Because trust me, I didn't like to play Clinging Anomalies.
No?
I don't think anyone liked to play that card.
All right. So what can Ho do here? Just that 3 life. He needs to find an answer.
He's trying to right now. Stealer Secret's going to be across, draw a card.
Yeah, Stealing Your Secrets is a nice one.
Maybe it got better in this format. You know, I wasn't a big fan of it in the previous format.
Oh, really?
Unless I had Pursuit of Flight. I wasn't too big of a fan myself.
Okay.
I didn't really think it was worth the trouble to try to get that thing through. But maybe this card's gotten a little bit better too, especially if people are on the philosophy that you're kind of under. I have to say it's correct or incorrect, but less Grizzly Bears, more big spells. Maybe Stealer Secrets gets through where people aren't playing those cards like Boros Mastiff and some other 2-mana spells that don't look as good.
Yeah, I really like Stealer Secrets. I think it's just a solid card. It can give you card advantage. Sure, 3-mana 2/2 is not very good, but if it hits once or twice, you're already at your money's worth.
Right. So now you see a Celestia Guildgate. Land's going to tap 4 mana. He's got the Gatekeeper, the blue Gatekeeper to cantrip. That's a 2/4. He's going to pass the turn back. Land at 3. Alex at 16. Alex draws his card very quickly.
Ooh, ultimate
that
price.
looked like an ultimate price. Destroy target mono-colored creature.
Yeah, and that's what Land has. He has all mono-colored creatures.
But look at his lands up there. A Transcode Promenade and a Azorius Guildgate. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but think about this for a moment. If you're Alex in this position, what does he have? Because this can literally mean anything.
Oh,
and
well,
it's actual nothing. Wow,
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He just goes for it anyway. Land does his best, to try to bluff a trick. Has nothing. Drew 2 cards that turn.
Yeah.
Off the
He
Stealer
drew
Secrets.
2 cards the last turn as well.
And I have nothing. You win.
Yeah. All right, so it all comes down to this.
Yeah, so
Cooler wins.
Yeah.
Ho loses.
So
Just
it's
comes
O'Mahony Schwartz versus Jones. We're going to be cutting into that match in just a moment. As you see, both players are shuffling up here. Maybe someone's taking a mulligan. We're not sure.
Yeah, I think Jones might have. Yeah, Jones is on 6.
Yeah, he's on 6 at least.
Yeah.
And man, look at O'Mahony Schwartz's hand. I already see there a Thrill Kill Assassin and a Dreadbore. Those are two constructed playable cards. And now a Rakdos Guildgate to help facilitate it all. So he's certainly got a pretty good couple of cards in his opener. But just the plains here from Richard Jones. Follow that up with a Mountain into the Thrill Kill Assassin. Unleash means it's a 2/3. And O'Mahony Schwartz is going to pass the turn back.
Unleash also means he's not going to block. And Dan thinks he has an aggressive enough start that he just wants to beat in.
Got to give those beatdowns.
Yeah, he has to. Those Benny beatdowns.
So now we're going to see a 2/3 here come across in the Thrill Kill Assassin. See if Dan O'Mahony Schwartz does have a good follow-up here. He's got 2 mana. He has a Grim Roustabout. Nowhere near as good as Thrill Kill Assassin, but it's not bad when your opponent has nothing on the table.
Yeah.
So Jones, you need to get something on the table. So here's a forest. All 3 colors of mana are available, and here's a Kingpin's Pet. And that, Gerard, is probably worth dreadboring, or do you save it?
No, I think here, if I don't have another creature follow-up, or even if I do, I wouldn't mind just dreadboring this.
Because right now, Jones can't block.
Yeah,
he has no good blocks right now. 2/2 with Regenerate, 2/3 with Death Touch. No great blocks right now. You're going to see Arachno Shred Freak, and now he's daring him to trade.
Well, if I'm Jones here, I definitely trade. You have to.
You don't want to overvalue your Kingpin's Pet?
I don't think so, especially when you're light on mana to begin with. I think I would trade.
Well, he does just take the damage here.
Yeah. We'll see if Jones has a plan.
Did you see O'Mahony Schwartz was?
Oh no, he doesn't. Yeah.
Okay, so he is going to trade. All right.
Yeah, it was definitely a delayed block.
Yeah.
It looks like Dan reached for his life total. I like that block for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, Kingpin's Pet can win a game on its own. Yes, it is extremely powerful, but also let's look at it in the abstract. It's a 3-mana 2/2 flyer. This is a win trade, and while no one wants to trade with Rakdos Shred Freak, which people find to be a pretty mediocre card, don't be too proud.
Yeah.
Because what Rakdos does very well is if people are too proud, it'll run you down. They'll try to play a bigger creature. Dan will dreadboard it, and then just keep the beats going.
Yeah, exactly.
So now a Sunspire Griffin comes into play for Jones. There's a 2/3 flyer against the board of 2/3 with Death Touch. Not the best block there, but
block the 2/2.
Yeah.
Why not? We'll see what Dan does. I think Dan has the Electricity in his hand.
I think that's the case.
So I think Dan will probably attack with both, and Jones will most likely block the Grim Roustabout. Dan could regenerate and then Electricity it to pretty much 1-for-1.
Now, one thing to keep in mind here as well is we see Dan with his Electricity.
Sure.
Now, you're sure that Jones remembers that blow-up that happened last game.
Yeah.
But also, if you're Dan O'Mahony Schwartz right now, look at that forest over there that's untapped. What does that represent?
It could represent giant growth.
What else can that represent?
Burst of strength.
There you go.
So
2 cards from 2 different
sets.
formats.
Yeah. So we'll see what Dan decides to do here.
So here comes the thrill kill assassin.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
You know, maybe Dan has a play to make. He wants his mana.
Kind of playing it safe there, right? I mean, maybe he just doesn't have any interest in attacking with the Grim Rustabout at all anyway.
Okay.
Maybe it's not worth bluffing the attack there.
Yeah.
So now we do see splatters like that's unleashed. All of Dan's creatures right now, they can't block. Jones is on the back foot here, and he's trying to stabilize. Sunspire Griffin, certainly one step in the right direction, but he's got a little bit more work to do.
I think I see an Orzhov Charm, which is not the best card when you're behind.
Yeah, great removal spell.
It is a great removal
Does a
spell.
lot of different things, has a whole bunch of text on it, but you got to pay a lot for that muffler.
Yeah.
You're gonna take a lot for that damage.
Yeah, I think that's the card in his hand. We'll see though. As you can see, those fingers that showed up on screen, it was his teammate. He said, hey, maybe play this, maybe play this. Started pointing.
4 mana, Millennium Gargoyle.
I don't like that card.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, it was kind of a necessary evil in its format. You had to fill out your deck. You know, sometimes you show up short on playables, so you needed something to fill it in.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone ever liked it, and you know, right now it seems like Jones doesn't like it as he has to tap 4 mana to play a 2/2 flyer that has very little impact on this board.
Yeah. I also see Ready and Willing in Jones's hand. So I think, if I make it out his hand correctly, it's Orzhov Charm, Ready and Willing, and 2 other spells.
So the question is, can he get to the 6 mana for the full setup?
Maybe. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice blowout. It's also a nice combo with Boros Reckoner, if anybody wants to play that in Standard.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of build your own Azorius Charm, Boros Charm.
So here's a question.
Yeah, what?
Ready and Willing. We saw it in the last game.
Okay.
It wasn't as good as it probably could be, but I think in most cases that card's going to be very good.
Yeah, very good.
That thing locks you into a guild.
Sure.
You like first picking that?
Yeah, I'm definitely first pick it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just a super powerful card, and if it locks you into, you know, Golzovnia, that's fine by me, because I like those colors anyway.
Maybe even a card that you're looking to personally open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, actually, we had a pack yesterday where we did my pick, your pack, and when I was watching Owen, Reed, and William build their seal deck, one of their last cut was Profit and Loss.
Okay.
And I think Reed wanted to play it, and Owen said, no, you know, this card is just kind of like an electric trickery. Don't play it.
Okay.
And I think William kind of wanted to play it. So I think Profit Loss is on the border of being, you know, between really good and just not making the cut.
Sure. As we do see the block here, Sunspire Griffin gets in front of the Grim Rustabout. Damage is going to resolve, regeneration on the skeleton, and now Electrickery with your overload going to take care of the rest of that Sunspire Griffin. So now there's just a lone Millennial Gargoyle in play for Jones, sitting at 7 life, and he's needing some help. And again, we do know that O'Mahony Schwartz does have in his hand that Dreadboard that he's been waiting to pick off one juicy target.
Yep. So I believe Jones now has the 5th land that he needs to start building up his mana. So we'll see if he, yeah, there it is, in the form of a forest.
Yep.
All right. So what can Jones really do? He's facing now a 3/3 First Striker, a 2/3 Death Touch, and a 2/2 Regenerator. So if my math's correct, that's 7 damage, and Jones is on 7.
You still got it.
I still have my
After
math
all these
skills.
after all these years.
Yeah, after calculators and computers, I can still add and subtract. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I can't see everything in Jones's hand. You know, I might be kind of misreading one of the cards.
But I mean, this is really hard, right? Because I mean, he's staring that Orzhov Charm. How frustrating does it have to be if you're excuse me, Richard Jones? I have a removal spell in my hand that is just so bad for me to cast right now.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I mean, I think it's an Orzhov Charm.
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay.
It is.
And the other thing is that there's 2 minutes left in the round. That's it.
Yeah?
2 minutes left in the round. So, you know, could there be a draw, a 1-1-1?
And these players already, I mean, we know that Piccola, O'Mahony, Schwartz, and Hope, they have a draw.
Oh, really?
They're 2-1 coming into this round.
Wow, they must have got paired up.
Yeah, and this is something with the conversation with the teammates.
Okay.
And with how much slower the format is, draws are not going to be out of the ordinary in this format.
Yeah.
You have to, and especially, here's the other big thing too, Gerard, is that the format's new.
Yeah.
So
a lot of
players
people
are,
read cards.
Yeah, players are thinking about, oh God, what can
Judge
he have?
calls, right?
Yeah, judge calls. There's a lot of things that take up a lot of time now. You see players just taking the time right now, Jones is working things over with his teammate. What should I do? They come to the decision of playing the Denizen,
Yeah, sure.
the Porsche Denizen, and just pass the turn back.
All right, so I think O'Mahony Schwartz, did he just draw what? Did he draw? Did he just rip a punish the enemy or no? Not. I mean, if he did, he would just certainly cast it and just end the game pretty much. Not sure if that's what it is, but it sort of looks like it.
Taking a look at his deck list here.
He's tapping
He's reaching for 5 mana. I think you may have got it correct, Gerard.
Well,
that is a punish the enemy.
So it deals 3 damage to target player and 3 damage to target creature. So it's 2 separate targets.
That's an aptly named card, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, punish the enemy. All right, and Jones extends the hand. That was a nice draw by Dan Almes. He might have not have needed it because you had the Dreadbore for backup.
Yep.